Hey, brother.
Hey, brother.
So let's write the ultimate Tom Cruise movie. I've got 10 Tom Cruise movies here, and we're going to take something from each one to make the ultimate Tom Cruise movie. The movies in question, you ready for them? This list
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
First one is Cocktail.
Okay, we got so bartending. That's like the
Yes.
first thing that came to mind. Yeah.
Second is Days of Thunder.
That's the race car movie. So
Right.
race car. Okay.
We have Collateral.
That's the one where he's an assassin with Jamie Foxx.
Yes, he's like a
Okay.
hitman or something, professional hitman. Jerry Maguire.
A sports agent.
Yes. The Mummy.
Okay, that's the really bad movie that he was in that flopped.
Yes, Mummy Fighter. Mission Impossible.
Okay, he's a special agent. There's been 100 of those.
Top Gun.
Yeah, the fighter pilot.
Magnolia.
Is he this motivational speaker in that one?
Yes, motivational
Okay.
speaker.
Yes.
Risky Business.
Okay.
So-
A pimp.
I guess Pimp. Yeah,
that what
I
we're-
guess Pimp.
Yeah, is that where we're going with that?
And Austin Powers Goldmember.
What was he an Austin Powers Goldmember?
He was an actor who played Austin Powers.
Okay,
So
okay.
he just needs to imitate Austin Powers at some point.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna take something from each of the movies and shove it all into one movie and make the ultimate Tom Cruise movie.
Right. Yeah, we're going to be writing this kind of off the tops of our heads. So that's kind of what we do on the podcast. The whole idea is that we write something off the tops of our heads. We don't know what the movie's going to look like. So we're trying to kind of recreate what it might feel like in the writer's room. So I don't know what this Tom Cruise movie is going to look like if we have these 10 different Tom Cruise professions.
Yeah.
Shove them all into one movie.
I think, it's going to be amazing if we can pull it off, because all of
Yeah.
these movies are really good. Other than The Mummy. The Mummy might drag it down a little bit, but
If anybody could pull it off, it's Tom Cruise.
yeah. So we'll have to do Tom Cruise some justice here.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
So it's Tom Cruise playing Tom Cruise, or is he playing Tom Cruise, or is he
No,
playing a
I
different
think-
character who's
I-
just like an amalgamation of them all?
I think he should be playing a different character. It shouldn't be
Okay.
him.
Then it has to be like this quintessential like Tom Cruise character name in an action movie, where it's like Jonathan Danger, or
Yeah,
but it's not.
I actually like that. I like Jonathan
like John-
Danger. I think
Johnny-
Jonathan Danger actually works good.
yeah,
And his middle name is like Lightning or something like that.
yeah, and he could be like Danger is other people's middle name, but it's my last name.
Yeah.
Lightning, Jonathan
Danger.
Lightning Danger.
Is it given name? Is given name the last name? Danger's my given name. Is given name the
Yes.
last name?
Danger's my given name.
The real question is, do you start it out with him like kind of a slower thing where he's like maybe doing like a drink, like, hey, at a party, oh, who wants a cocktail here? And he's flipping the stuff around like a bartender. Or do you
Yeah.
start it more action-packed, like he's fighting a mummy right off the bat?
I think the former, you got to go with like this is his everyday life kind of thing, and then build up. And I almost feel like Jerry Maguire is kind of the first way to go, because it's like I can't think of another way to get him to be a sports agent in the film unless he starts out as a sports agent,
Yeah.
and then he's called to action, right?
Yes. Yes.
So Jerry Maguire,
Yeah.
he's
I actually like that, because should it be something so simple as you could even go back in time and make it like an 80s or early 90s film,
yeah,
pre-cell phones,
yeah,
so that he's an agent talking to his guy.
yeah.
Then at some point he can't get a hold of his guy, which launches him to go on this trip to like meet up with his superstar sports
client.
guy. And
Yeah.
along the way, he's doing stuff more incredible than any athlete ever could.
Yeah.
Is that too silly?
He's more athletic than his client.
Yes, he's just running. He's like running across a football field, like beating it, like Forrest Gump, beating everybody.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad idea. So it could be, oh my gosh, okay, it could be something like that. So he starts out, he's this dedicated, maybe overly dedicated sports agent.
Yes.
And he's talking to his client. He's in L.A. and his
Yeah.
client's in San Francisco.
Yes.
And then this citywide event happens. Some mummy
Okay.
like causes like blackouts, and he's unable to reach his client.
Yeah.
So he has to fight the mummy and then get out of like L.A. and like kind of road trip up to San Francisco in order to get to his client.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to go? Do you want to go the route of the mummy is a real mummy, or do you want to go the route more like he ends up like almost kind of like a spoof movie, where
Or
like
he's like
he
in
just
a museum and he like
Yeah,
punches
or-
an actual mummy.
yeah, or he ends up on like a movie set, you know, and he gets in disguise as Austin Powers. So now we got the Austin Powers. And then there's like a guy like in a mummy, you know, like playing the
Okay.
mummy while he's like, and he's trying to get to his client. Like, my client's right there. And the mummy
Oh,
grabs
my
him because he
gosh.
thinks he's part of the film, and he punches the mummy.
That's
And
so
then-
much better.
And then, yeah, so it's like a Hollywood set. And now he's, you know, and then he jumps into like, Will Ferrell's about to get in the race car. And he punches John C. Reilly in the face. John C. Reilly's like,
Breaks
"Hey."
his hand.
John C.
on
Reilly's
John
like,
C. Reilly's.
"Hey, I think that's Tom Cruise." Just punches him in the face. Pushes Will Ferrell out of the way, gets in the race car, and now he's driving the race car. Should it be like
yeah.
that, or it's just
No,
like
yeah. That's much better. That's better, and then we don't have to do the crappy mummy.
Yeah.
We could do like just a
Like-
better version.
yeah, like nothing's real. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a mad world style, where they're just
Yes.
jumping from like airplane to car to, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, that could definitely work. And if it is, yeah, kind of like it's Mad World, then it's just him. We're able to kind of put him into these situations where he's,
Yeah.
for some reason, you know, on stage giving a motivational speech.
Yeah.
But so okay, so he starts out. He's the sports agent. He can't. What?
I just
Can I
like the
say
idea.
something funny?
I like the idea of him getting on stage to give a motivational speech, and it's the exact same speech from Magnolia, where he's like doing the man
Yeah.
that man speech of like how to pick up women.
Yeah, yeah.
Ends up with that.
Everyone in the audience is just like
Yeah,
disgusted.
like, but if so, here's the thing. So it starts out maybe with him like at a party with the sports guy, right? And he's
Yeah,
doing
okay.
the drinks, and he's like
yeah,
flipping
okay.
them and doing cool stuff, just like he would
have
in
our cocktail.
cocktails. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too bad The Color of Money isn't in here, but we should just shove that in there, because then you could have him playing pool, you know?
Yeah, I'm fine with
At
having
some
an
point.
11th movie in there.
Yeah,
because,
just keep shoving him in there.
yeah, it's like, what
Yeah.
other skill does Tom Cruise have?
And then if his client is on doing a commercial, like at a movie set, then you could have him going for his client, and he's sneaking in, and security's trying to find him, and then he gets in the Austin Powers costume, and then he punches the mummy. So
Yeah.
that covers, those three movies are covered. Then his
Yeah.
client leaves, so he jumps in the race car,
Yeah,
punches,
to
shaking
chase after
yeah.
him.
Yeah, he's shake and bake, you know?
Yeah.
Those two guys gets in the car to chase after his client.
Yeah.
So that's Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird how it actually kind of like works.
I mean, yeah, it works. It works. There's still a problem
Okay.
in that. I mean, we haven't really figured out the exact how he'd get into Magnolia, but
Yeah.
collateral and risky business. So at some point he has to kill somebody, and then at some point he has to pimp somebody out.
Yeah. So he's got to become. Yeah, he has to become a pimp at some point.
Yeah.
Collateral could be. I mean, if we're just taking something from the movie, it could be that he assassinates somebody, which I think would be really fun.
He just
but he's
hails
gotta
a
run.
cab.
He has to run at some point too. He runs in Collateral as well, right?
He runs in all of these movies. I think in Days of Thunder, he runs alongside the race car.
Race car and beats it.
Beats it.
Yeah.
He beats it, dude. You see him running in Mission Impossible 3. That is the most perfect form I've ever seen of anybody running ever.
Yeah, it's weird. He actually, his form I think actually gets better throughout the years.
Yeah.
Or I think he actually got trained by a professional. But yeah, I can't figure out how we get him into a fighter jet. That's the part I'm having trouble with. So the giving a speech.
I forgot about Top Gun.
The motivational speaker part, I think, is it could just be another one of those situations where like he's following his trying to catch up to his client.
Yeah.
And then somebody's like, "Hey, our next," and maybe his client's like up on stage, and he's like kind of waiting for him to get off stage, and then his client exits stage, the opposite side of the stage, and then they're pushing him out on the stage, like our next speaker.
Yeah.
And he gets out there, and he just like he freezes, doesn't know what to say.
No, I'm trying to get to my client.
Yeah.
And nobody leaves here without singing the blues. So he has to, do his speech.
If you wanted to have him give the Magnolia speech, the actual speech, you'd have to have a scene where he's on like maybe the phone, like after the party. There's like him just relaxing, and he's watching Magnolia.
Okay.
Like on TV, and then then he gets the phone call, and it's like, oh my gosh, like.
It could be, so if he has like I don't know if we want to give him a second client, but if he has a second client who's a motivational speaker, and he's going over the speech with his client.
Yes.
Then it's like that he's like, I don't know what to say, so I'm just gonna like use that speech that might,
Yeah.
Because I remember it, I went over it with him.
Yeah. That's not bad. He's on the phone. Oh my gosh. He's on the phone with Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is his client.
Tom Cruise is his client.
And he's running lines with Tom Cruise. And Tom Cruise over the phone is more Tom Cruisey than Tom Cruise is the actual Tom Cruise.
Yeah. It's Tom Cruise playing a caricature of Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Yes. You got to help me with these lines. Help me with the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just pulling that the whole time. It's actually, then now it makes sense that he gets up there as the motivational speaker, has something to say, and he freezes, and the only thing that comes out of his mouth is this.
It's the speech that he's running lines with him. And he's like embarrassed. He's like shy. He's the wrong Tom Cruise. The other Tom Cruise is the one who should be up there.
Yeah.
So he goes up there and he's giving the speech, and it's awkward, and he's terrible at it. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it could be. It could be a funny situation, like he's at like a women's rights meeting, or like something that just is completely opposite.
Yeah.
This guy giving this speech, and he just
something that's like, this is not where you should be giving the speech,
And like as everyone is just getting more mad and booing, he's just getting more and more into the character.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know what else to do. It's actually.
Is it so? Okay, so in true Jerry Maguire fashion.
Yes.
It could be as simple as like his client is headed to San Francisco. It doesn't really matter. To talk to another agent, like possibly moving. Oh yeah. And so that's why he's chasing after him.
Yes,
it's like
that's a good one.
He doesn't want to lose his biggest client. Yes. And so that's why he's willing to take certain risks where it's like, hey, I'll punch some guy in a mummy suit. Like, I'll get into a race car.
Yeah.
And then it's like, he could even, that could even be like kind of a climax is like, how am I going to get there in time? This fighter jet is the only way. It's the only way I'll get to San Francisco that quickly.
The fighter jet is maybe it's, maybe he goes to, like sometimes the fighter jets will fly over the football field.
Yeah.
He's in one of the fighter jets flying over the football field, and he ejects.
Yeah.
And Goose is in the back seat, and Goose doesn't make it.
Yeah.
I just got really sad. all of a sudden thinking about that. That brought back some flashbacks.
We'll make it lighter.
Goose didn't make it, guys.
There will be like an actual he's the only one in the fighter jet, but then after he ejects, his fighter jet hits an actual goose. So it's just like a nod to people.
Anthony Edwards is still around, right? It hits Anthony Edwards. And Anthony Edwards is all, hey, look, a goose. Like, there's a goose in it.
He says it to Meg Ryan. Hey, look, a goose. And she's like,
Meg Ryan's in it. Meg Ryan's in the film.
Yeah, just to be sad when the goose dies.
We did it. Yeah.
Spoiler.
And then we'll have Artex sink in the swamps of sorrow from the Neverending Story, the saddest scene ever made. That was our old Yeller. That was my generation's old Yeller, was Artex in the Neverending Story.
That really is the worst.
Yeah.
It's like, what did he die from? Sadness.
Yeah.
He was so sad that he died. Like, what? That's the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life.
And then I was like, Mom and Dad, is that going to happen to me? They're like, if you get sad, it will. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Never.
Crying at Disneyland.
But yeah, I think that's a good one for Top Gun, to have him actually fly over the stadium and eject out of one of the fighter jets.
Yeah, I like that better than, like, what I was thinking is if his client got into, like, a commercial plane, and then he got into the jet to kind of, like, try and, get the plane to, like... But I like the football field thing better.
Yeah. When does he actually assassinate someone, and when does he become a pimp? Or the really...
I mean, I think that the pimp thing could be completely by accident. Like, if he's having a conversation with someone, and the dude, like, someone, like, comes over to him and, like, hands him some money, and he's like, okay, and then he, like, gives, like, the change to, like, this girl who's walking by.
Yeah.
Like, he's just, like, engrossed in his conversation. He doesn't realize he just brokered a deal.
It's Richard Gere and Julia Roberts. Wouldn't that be funny?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we have, 10 Tom Cruise movies in here.
Yeah.
We could have Pretty Woman in here, too. I know Tom Cruise isn't in it. Yeah. But
you could have him. You could even have it where after he gets in... So, he gets in the Austin Powers costume. Because that's a little bit flashy. And then along the way, he picks up, like, a big hat or something like that to try and cover his face.
Yeah, so he's mistaken as a pimp.
Yeah, so then he drives the race car, and he picks somebody up because he's looking for directions, just like Richard Gere did.
Yeah.
And then he drops her off at Richard Gere's place, his hotel.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, hey, thanks for the help, drops off. And then Richard Gere gives him money.
Yeah.
Gives him the money, and he's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
And it's like $5,000 or whatever. What was it in the movie? $3,000? I
don't remember.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen Pretty Woman.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that would actually be kind of a cool way of doing that, a funny way of doing that ties in.
Yeah. That could definitely work. I think Collateral's the only one we haven't really figured out.
We haven't done Collateral, and we haven't done Mission Impossible.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. So Mission Impossible, I mean, is it that he's a spy, or is it just that he does an incredible stunt? Because, like, that's kind of the gimmick of all the Mission Impossibles, is that he does something crazy.
Yeah. I feel like with Mission Impossible, you have to almost you got to do the crazy stunt, which maybe is the ejecting out of a fighter jet.
Yeah.
But you also have to do the face where he's got a different face on. I think that's...
It's Austin Powers' face.
Oh.
He rips off Austin Powers' face.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Then you'd need Mike Myers in the film. Because then you could have him run in. Then he could put the Austin Powers like mask on, and it looks just looks just like him. And then he runs into Mike Myers. Mike Myers is looking at him, and he like pulls the face off.
Yeah.
Mike Myers could be like, "You look like a very old Tom Cruise." Because if we're period piecing
it's like supposed to be a 90s period piece. He's like, thank you. I think
He's a
of that
client.
scene in Jerry Maguire all the time when Bonnie Hunt's like, he better not be attractive. And then she opens the door and he's got the sunglasses and he like smiles. And it's like the most attractive person on the planet. And she's like, oh man, it's funny stuff. Okay, so
A lot gets kind of shoved into that movie scene section, which I think is
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Because it fits well that you could just shove in all the kind of like costume style stuff in there.
yeah.
But at what point does he assassinate somebody?
That's that's the tough one.
Does he do it in a club?
Um,
Because that's where, like in Collateral, that's kind of the big draw
Yeah.
of that movie is that he's in the club kind of doing his thing.
yeah. See, this is the tough one. This is the one where it's like, because of the
if he's-
tone of the movie
Yeah.
is so like lighthearted.
If
It's
he's
like,
following his client, though,
Yeah.
I know the tone of the movie's so lighthearted, and all of a sudden somebody's going to get shot in the face.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he's following, was that on your end?
Yeah. Just my chair. I don't know.
If he's following his client and he goes into a club,
Yeah.
you could have a similar scene to Collateral where he's in the club, but maybe you don't have to actually have him kill anybody. Maybe he's just following his client and there's people going after his client. You know, like there's some guy with a gun going after his client and he's like pulling kind of the same Collateral style moves on the guys without the like execution at the end.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could do that.
What
but
if
then,
he gets into a What if he gets into a cab that's being driven by Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, he just hails a cab and it's Jamie Foxx
Jamie
driving
Foxx in
it.
Yes. What if that's the
That-
Collateral?
That could solve our problem.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, aside from him just hailing a cab and having Jamie Foxx driving, we'd have to
Yeah.
have him just straight up assassinate somebody.
Yes.
Which, I don't know, it might take the audience out of it. I don't think that they'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I feel like the hailing the cab and having Jamie Foxx drive it is better.
That's funny. Yeah, and if it's the ultimate Tom Cruise movie, I'm sure that a lot of these big stars would be totally on board with jumping in and being a part of it. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, it's at least a foundation. It's at least a basis where it's like, all right, now we need to iron some stuff out and come up with some details, and like that's all stuff that gets worked out when you're actually, working on the outline.
Yeah. I think it'd be you could have I'm still going into detail, sorry.
Yeah,
you could have
that's
him
good.
pull up to a club that he knows his client's going into in the race car. And then his client's going through the club, and now he's going through the club, like following his client.
Yeah.
And then his client kind of like, whatever, gets out of the club, and then he gets out of the club, and his race car's been stolen, and you see it like being driven off.
Yeah.
And he's like, they just stole my race car. So then that's when he hails the cab with Jamie Foxx, And then he can do the whole like money thing. Like he does in Collateral to him. But then you could just have a scene where he's talking to Jamie Foxx about like, then I had to punch this mummy out because I just was grabbing me, and, like I ended up running into Austin Powers and I looked just like him. they thought I was Austin Powers, and like he's just kind of saying like, and Jamie Foxx is like, all right, yeah, man,
Yeah. And like if we wanted to fit that 11th movie in there, then he could go back into the club and hustle somebody for some cab money.
Yeah.
So he plays pool.
Yes.
And
he doesn't
hustles
have
somebody.
he doesn't have any money, so he goes into like a bar next door and like hustles them for does the pool thing. And what other Tom Cruise movies can we shove in there?
I mean, name it. We could do it. We could just put all of them in there.
Yeah.
And what else has he done? What other profession?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's the main stuff has been covered because he's done Mission Impossible adjacent stuff like Night and Day.
Oh yeah.
which is him.
Yeah, he's
Which
just
is
kind of
yeah,
a secret agent again.
yeah. It's like him playing. It's like him playing Ethan Hawke on Speed.
Yeah.
He's even crazier. Then he
And like
does
he was,
Jack Reacher was kind of like him
he's
playing an
another,
agent again.
yeah, just kind of a secret agent like all the
Yeah,
time.
that
But yeah,
style.
he was Lestat. It might be actually kind of funny
Oh.
if he were dressed as a vampire when he's fighting the mummy.
Yeah,
So just to squeeze interview with the vampire in there.
yeah. That actually
like-
works because you could have him dress as Lestat in like the puffy shirt, you know.
Yeah.
Then
That
he
works.
ends up getting the Austin Powers face, and he still
Yeah.
has the puffy shirt. Now he looks like Austin Powers. Then he ends up getting the hat, the pimp hat,
Yeah.
and it
yeah.
all kind of like that
it all
actually
ties in.
I actually like that, where he kind of looks like, you end up having him look like Lestat. He's got like a wig, that same blonde-haired wig on thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe Brad Pitt walks past him wearing like his outfit from it, you know, and they just
Yeah.
look at each other like, what?
Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst was in that too.
I
Interview
can't
with the
think of
Vampire.
any. I can't think of anything that's like different from what he's already done. Because even like Tropic
Yeah.
Thunder, like he's an agent. And it's like, okay, well he was an agent in Jerry Maguire, so like we may have covered a good amount of
Yeah.
what he actually does. I don't know if there's anything else that we've really missed.
I mean, there's certain things. There's taps. There's all the right moves. All the right
All the
moves.
right
He's like
moves.
a football player. Taps. He's sort of like an army in a military school that they end
Yeah.
up taking over the school. There's Born on the
Few
4th
Good
of
Men.
July, but I don't really want to. I don't know how to fit that one in.
Now I'm sad again. Yeah. There's a few good men. He's a lawyer.
Yeah.
There's The Firm, where he's a lawyer. No,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think we covered it. I think.
Yeah, I think
that we've-
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that we could create the ultimate Tom Cruise movie,
Yeah. What
starring
happens?
Tom Cruise playing
what hap-
Jonathan Danger.
What happens at the end? Does he actually? Does he keep his client, or does he lose his client? Does he
I don't know.
lose?
I think maybe he loses his client, but he gains one Renee Zellweger.
But he gains Cuba Gooding Jr. as a client, though.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
gains Cuba.
And he has a large-headed stepson. He can't lose his job because his stepson's head is so big it's crushing his brain.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, yeah. I think that. I think that about.
Yeah, that would be a
Covers
fun
it.
movie too. That would be a
That'd
fun movie to watch. I think
It'd be
he would
so much
enjoy
fun
that.
to make.
Yeah, I think Tom Cruise would really enjoy doing it as well. To just
Yeah.
be playing a character where he's kind of going through all of his the callbacks
Yeah.
to all of his different films that he's done.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. That'd be a lot of fun to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's call up Tom Cruise. I think he could do
Yeah,
it.
give me a call, Tommy. Tommy,
Yeah,
give me a call.
Tommy. Johnny Danger. You know how to reach me. So, 4th of July is coming up. Independence Day 2 was terrible.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask if you thought that there is a way to kind of do an Independence Day 2 rewrite that would be able to make this movie any good.
Yeah, I think you could do an Independence Day 2,
Okay.
and it could be potentially good.
All right. I'm
It's-
not sure how.
Yeah, I feel like the disaster movies
Yeah.
were a thing. Jaws is a disaster movie. It's a highbrow disaster movie, but it is kind of a disaster movie. Jurassic Park is a disaster movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's you put characters in a situation, disaster strikes,
Yeah.
you're now trying to get out of the disaster. That's what Independence Day is.
Right. Okay.
Since Independence Day, have we had a really good one? There's been like, The Day After Tomorrow was maybe the best one we've had since Independence Day.
Yeah.
with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Moonfall
Um,
is the latest one.
yeah, no, yeah. They've made, a lot of disaster like 2012 and
Yeah,
um I mean, name it, but like I feel like Independence Day is the best one.
yeah. Titanic
um
maybe is the best disaster movie ever made.
yeah, but there's kind of a theme, if you will. Like all the other disaster movies that you've mentioned
Yes,
are pretty localized.
yes,
They feel more personal, and Independence Day was global, and
yes,
all the other all of the other disaster movies that we're talking about that just like they weren't quite as good. They're all like global events that are just missing the mark for one reason or another.
yeah.
So what is it that made Independence Day different? Was it just that like this is a global event, but it still felt personal? It still felt localized. Like we're just kind of following. We're
Yeah,
following a family, and
there's
then like
yeah, it's I think there's a couple things going for them. Because
yeah.
Armageddon is sort of the same way, where
Okay,
it's
right.
on the planetary scale.
Yeah.
So the thing Independence Day did was, and I remember the trailers as well. They didn't show you what the ship looked like in the trailers.
Oh.
So Independence Day has the ships come, and they're in like this fire cloud where you can't
Yeah.
see the ship.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for a very long time in the movie, you know something's coming,
Yeah.
and now it's here, and you can't see even what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then, once you discover that it's dangerous,
Yeah.
it now sort of reveals itself, and now you're like, well, is it actually dangerous, or like what's going to happen? Is it going to be friendly? Is it not going to be friendly? So
Yeah.
there's all these things kind of going for it, where there still is the mystery
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
what's going to happen, and that I think other disaster movies miss the mark on, is that they'll jump to something really crazy happening right off the
Yeah.
bat, as
Yeah.
opposed to the slow burn,
Right.
where it's like
Yeah.
this could be because aliens coming could be really good.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
we could get some really cool technology that we need. That could
Yeah.
be Superman, or it could be Independence Day where they're hostile and
Yeah.
it's really bad because now
Yeah.
we're fighting a superior force.
See that this this brings up an interesting point because
Yeah.
we've talked before about how with certain with certain films they change the genre on the
Yes.
sequel.
Yeah.
Alien is a horror film. They kind of hide what the alien looks like for a long time.
Yeah.
And the mystery of what this thing looks like and how dangerous is it is kind of part of the suspense.
Yeah.
Aliens, the sequel, is an action movie.
Yeah.
And then kind of the same with Terminator. Terminator 2 is very much an action movie. Terminator feels a lot more like a horror film. The mystery is kind of gone with an Independence Day sequel. We already know what the ship looks like. We already know what the aliens look like.
Yeah.
So how do we remedy that? Where it's like the aliens are coming again, and the mystery's gone.
Yeah. I mean,
That's part of the problem with the actual sequel, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, I have like an idea, but I don't think anyone's gonna like it.
Will I like it, or will I not like it?
I mean, I doubt anyone will like it, but
Okay.
But I think what you have is you have the military force moving in first. They find a planet where they're like, we can survive on this planet. We can use its resources. They eradicate any intelligent species that could stop them, or that could put up a fight.
Yeah, so this is
then,
the first movie. The first movie is the alien military force.
And then the second movie is now the larger civilian ship is showing up, and this ship is not a fighting ship, and these people don't really know how to fight. And they don't have the cool spacesuits. They're like the little alien guys walking around.
Yeah.
That are weaker than us. And
Yeah.
they don't, and they have the telepathy with each other, but they don't really know how to weaponize it because they're not used to doing that. In the same way that, like, you know, if I got on the mat with somebody who knows jujitsu, like, I would look like a child because despite the fact that, like, well, we have the same tools, but I don't know how to use those tools, so...
Yeah, you're not a fighter.
I think it's that the fighting aliens are actually using it as a weapon, maybe even against each other. They can use it as a weapon to kind of distract and do all these other things. Then against a human brain that's not trained against it, they can really be effective. These guys can't really do that so much.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So they're coming down, and now we know they're coming, and we're prepared, and we've been studying their technology, same way that Resurgence does, and now we are the aggressors. And they have no idea that the military force is doing what it's doing. They didn't know that they're going to planets that are inhabited.
Yeah.
By sentient species that they shouldn't be annihilating. They don't actually want to do that. They don't know any better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're coming in, and so now all of a sudden, like, they're coming in, and they're like, "There's something approaching us," and it's like one of our ships, and now we're going in like freaking Edge of Tomorrow with our mechanical suits, like just romper stomping through aliens, you know, and they're like, ah, and now there has to be some guy who's like a little bit better at communicating with them telepathically, who figures out like, oh, these guys are just like us, they don't know any better, And just like we have our military that goes and does stuff that we don't really know about, they have their military that goes and does stuff that they don't know about. And we need to find a way of like actually coexisting before they start like figuring out how to arm themselves and fighting back. Like, so that's kind of the thing, because maybe they do have some super weapon that could just like annihilate a planet if they have to. Because while they're traveling through space, if some giant planet or asteroid is heading towards them, they can just like blast it like a Death Star ray. But that would be my approach. That's a weird approach, I think. That, like, no, the aliens are actually good guys just like us. We just had that misunderstanding because the military branch is being led by Patton, you know, and Patton's just going through like just tanking through places, you know, slapping soldiers along the way.
It's an interesting concept, and it might make for a good movie. I don't know about an Independence Day sequel. It sounds like an interesting concept for a movie, though.
Did I just Rian Johnson the Independence Day franchise? That's my job, is to Rian Johnson all the franchises.
Yeah, it's like, we want you to write a Star Wars movie. He's like, no, I'm going to write a Rian Johnson movie.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not your job, dude. Write a Star Wars movie.
Star Wars surrounded by Star Wars characters.
Yeah, it's like, you want to write a Rian Johnson movie, don't make it in Star Wars universe. Do Looper somewhere else, you know, but don't do... like, get away from my Star Wars if you're going to be making it yours. I'm going to make it my own. Get out of here.
I like...
I'm not bitter.
I would love being there when they were having these conversations. Like, Finn's an interesting character. What are you going to do with him? Nothing. Wow. Like, thanks for like the cool build-up on this really cool character that you guys did nothing with.
Really round him out is we'll bring in this other character, Rose, and then do nothing with her too.
And then they'll go on an adventure. And what does that achieve? Nothing.
Yeah.
Thanks for the payoff.
Yeah, that was great. Hire him for more stuff. Anyway.
Is it his fault?
What are we talking about?
Is it Rian Johnson's fault, or is it the fault of somebody who was supposed to tell him?
I mean,
like, you can't do that. You can't just write your own movie. And to just be like, that was nice, thank you, let's have somebody else write it.
It's hard to know without being in the room, you know? Or it's just like, is it Rian Johnson saying, like, all right, I have this idea, you're going to hate it,
Yes.
but I'm gonna do it anyway. Or was it somebody in the room who was no, I want to hear your voice. Like, I want to hear like your take on the, like
Yeah.
someone trying to be innovative, but really they're just like ruining a franchise that like already exists.
Yeah. Well, I can see myself doing something similar to what Rian Johnson did.
Like with Independence Day 2.
Yeah, like with Independence Day 2. Only, the good thing is I have you there to be like, no, you can't do that because that doesn't make sense within that universe or within that character. That's you pushing your own emotional nonsense into this thing.
Right, yeah.
Let's reground, Independence Day back into Independence Day.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of which,
yeah. Speaking of Independence Day, Rian Johnson. That's what Rian Johnson needed, though. Was somebody that he could trust, who was like, okay, that's not within.
That's
universe.
Not Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right. It's like that's fun. That's cute. But like tell that story in a different movie. That's not Star Wars.
What would you do with Independence Day?
I don't know. Well, I mean, that's kind of the problem is like, doing an Independence Day sequel, a lot of the magic is gone.
Yeah.
So it is sort of like, you almost do have to do a genre change, where like the first one was a down and out action adventure, like epic, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the second one, I feel like would almost need to be more of a personal kind of horror film.
Oh.
So it's like we do a reverse Alien, where like the first Independence Day is global destruction, and then the second Independence Day is a spaceship with a small crew, and then like they get boarded.
Oh.
So like now like that's kind of like the first Alien movie, and it's like we've seen what these guys are capable of. We've seen how dangerous they are, and now like they're on the ship. Yeah.
So that actually is not. That's not bad.
Right?
It's that I would say once again though.
Yeah.
It's not as Independence Day. So I mean but it is doing the same thing that like Terminator or Alien,
right,
or even Rocky did, which is let's switch the genre to more action.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just switching the genre. So, but I do really like the idea, like having something like now we're using their technology. It's like 30 years later, and we just have like this spaceship cruise ship out there.
Yeah.
That's lightly armed, and it gets docked and invaded by a group of these guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I think that could even be kind of, it's sort of like a 10 Cloverfield Lane kind of thing, where it's like, we don't know, we didn't realize that they were coming back, or that they were planning on coming back.
Yeah.
So now like that's kind of the goal of this crew, is like we need to survive so that we can warn Earth.
Yeah.
That they're on their way back right now.
Ooh. Yeah.
So it's sort of, it's that 10 Cloverfield Lane thing where it's like, we're trapped in this bunker with this alien, and it's a precursor to what might be another global event.
Yeah.
So the stakes are there.
Yes.
And then like that mystery is still kind of there. You have like the dark, foggy with like the tentacles, like you can have that stuff. So like it'll feel like a horror film version of the Independence Day world. Yeah.
That's kind of cool, yeah. Do you have it be kind of like a luxury cruise liner spaceship that's traveling, and you're basically just taking it like the same way you would like a cruise ship, and you're orbiting around Jupiter? Then as they're orbiting Jupiter, they get to like kind of the other side, and they see this ship, another one of those giant, massive ships,
like
and they're
round
like,
the bend
"Oh
and
my!"
they see it.
Yeah, and the captain's got his cigar, and it falls out of his mouth. Oh my god!
Yeah. He's like, they're dropping like flies out there. Like, nah,
He's like, they're like locusts. We just keep doing release me.
Yeah.
We just keep lines from the movie.
Out of context lines from the
Welcome to
first movie.
Earth.
Um,
Yeah, so they see it there, and then now they're like hightailing it back.
yeah.
But the mothership is like a slow moving kind of thing, and they send their like docking ship,
Yeah.
And now there's all sorts of trouble because of that. Yeah, they have to fight off this.
I think that could work. And like the cruise, I mean, I don't know about if it's like a cruise liner or if it's more like a tour bus. Depends on how big we want the ship to be, how many people. I think a tour bus would be kind of cooler because like the less people it is, the more personal it'll feel, and it'll be kind of like more in line with horror. But like they could even be using a ship that's sort of like the alien technology.
Yeah.
Because like they have it, so it's like, hey, like we could take a tour of like our solar system using their ships. But yeah, like that's how they could get out there in the first place, and then it just turns into just kind of like this creepy horror film where
if it's kind of like like a like an alien sized ship with an alien sized amount of people in it.
Yeah.
You could have it be like really personal and really horror-y.
Yeah.
If it's a larger cruise ship, like an actual cruise ship size, where now you have like 1,000 people on board.
Yeah.
You could have it be very chaotic, where these people are not prepared for this.
It'd be a disaster movie again.
Yeah. And part of the chaos and part of the trouble is also the other just people getting in the way and doing stupid stuff and trying to survive. And, but yeah, I think that is the better Independence Day approach to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it would at least be a way to like not ruin the first one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I know. Well, they brought Brent Spiner back.
Yeah, Dr. Oakham.
Who died in the first one.
Yeah.
Or it seemed like he died in the first one, but I guess they acted like he didn't. Why they didn't bring back, what was his name? Harry Connick Jr., the other pilot?
Oh, yeah, the other one who died?
Blows up. Yeah, he blows up in the other fighter jet.
Yeah.
Just bring him back, too.
Yeah, why not?
Let's just keep, the other stripper friend who has the sign on top of the building that gets exploded. She gets brought back.
Yeah, the president's wife.
Yeah.
Just bring back everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think that's the other thing too, is like if we did go that approach, I don't think any of the original cast. None of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Because then it's distracting, then it's the same genre, then it's, almost comedic. I think you got to axe all of them. It's a completely new cast, and it's just going to feel like, like Alien. Or whatever.
Except the scratchy voice guy. David. That guy. What's that guy's name?
Oh, gosh.
That guy's back.
I don't, yeah.
He's the only guy back.
Yeah, it's I know his name, but I don't want to. Okay, Harvey Fierstein.
Is that it? Okay.
I was trying so hard not to call him Harvey Weinstein. But yeah, that's Harvey Fierstein. yeah, that's who that guy is. Yeah, he's the only one that we bring back. He died too in the first one.
Yeah.
Like a car lands on him or something, or a fire truck or something like that.
Yeah, he gets exploded. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I think that Independence Day 2, the horror film, that's doable. We could that would actually make it good. We do have a game.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Or you have a game. You have a game for me.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play 5-word synopsis.
Mm-hmm. I got the timer going real quick.
Yeah, you give me there's 5 words total that you could give me. There's going to be a timer. You give me a word, I have to guess what the movie is going to be. As the timer goes on, you give me more words. The more words you give me, the less points I get. I guess that's kind of the best way to
Yeah, that's
to
basically.
explain it. And it's going to be like 4th of July themed. All the movies are kind of 4th of July movies.
Yeah, so 4th of July themed. It's yeah, it's I basically just type it into like IMDb, like show me 4th of July movies,
Yeah.
and it
yeah.
and it just gives me the most random stuff sometimes, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll do my best to guess them
yeah.
anyway.
Little preface.
Yes.
Before I was doing like putting the like proper noun kind of words together, like Empire State Building. I was just shoving all that in there. This
Yeah.
one is an actual. There's only 5 words.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is a legitimate 5-word synopsis.
Yeah. So I might have been a little too good at guessing in the past.
Yeah.
So you've been upping the difficulty.
Yes, I've been upping the difficulty as you've been rising to the occasion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I can read my writing here.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm ready when you are.
Okay. Number 1. I'm just gonna say it, and then I'll start the timer.
Okay.
Kovic.
Kovic.
Paralyzed.
Oh, Born on the 4th of July.
Yes. That was good. Okay. That was good. So you got 4 points for that one.
All right.
Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Number 2. Aliens.
Independence Day.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so you got 5 points on that one. Holy cow. Okay.
Those are the easy ones, though. Those are the only two 4th of July movies I
Those are
can
the
even
easy
think
ones,
of.
Yeah, there's aliens. I had space, virus, Smith, laser.
Okay. Yeah.
This is kind of what you have. This is what you got to expect.
That's what I
here.
got to work with. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Number 3, get yourself ready.
All right.
Spacecraft. Astronauts.
It's not Armageddon, is it?
Defect.
Apollo 13.
Yes. Oh,
Wow.
gosh. Wow, dude. My next one was Hanks, which you would have gotten. Then I
Yeah.
had Moon.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow. Jeez.
This is harder.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got 3 points on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Number 4. Hijacking.
Air Force One.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Come on.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, dude. 5 points. Wow. Hijacking. Airplane. President. Ford. Punch.
President Ford was an actual Ford. That might
Yeah.
have confused me. Or it was an actual president. That might have confused me.
Wow, that was really good. Okay. Here we go. Number
Yeah.
5. Helicopter. Somalia. Hostage.
Captain Phillips?
Crash.
Black Hawk Down?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Wow. I think I got all the way through 4 of them. Helicopter, Somalia, hostage, crash. The last
you got
one
through
was
4 of them.
Heartnet. So you got 2 points on that one.
Yeah. Wow.
You're actually doing really good, I think.
Yeah.
Considering, yeah, because some of these I thought, like, there's no way you're going to get these.
Yeah.
Here we go. Number 6.
Okay.
Nixon.
Frost Nixon?
Watergate.
All the President's Men?
Yes. Holy cow.
Come
Wow.
on.
My next one was Woodward.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Bernstein. Oh, then I had Hoffman. So I think you got 4 on that one.
Yeah.
Because you got through 2. Okay. I still don't understand how the point system works, but that's okay.
That's cool. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Number 7.
Yeah, 7.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Boxer.
Cinderella Man?
Heavyweight.
Oh, Rocky.
Yes. Then my next one was Polly, and then I had Adrian.
Yeah.
You got, I think you got 3 points for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. I totally forgot. So yeah, Apollo Creed's like dressed as Uncle Sam and everything.
Yeah.
Like they fight on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some of them when I was looking at the list, I was like, I don't remember that being a 4th of July film, but then, it takes a while to remember. Yeah, they
fight on the 4th of July.
Here we go, number 8.
Okay.
Get ready for this one. Revolution.
Patriot.
Yes.
The Patriot, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Roland Emmerich just has a thing for 4th of July.
Wow. Okay, yeah. I had Revolution, British, Militia, Gibson, Heath. I did not think you were going to get that one until I got to, like, Gibson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This is, it's ridiculous. Here we go. Number 9.
Yeah.
Mercury. Astronauts.
Oh,
Space.
Armageddon? Isn't it Mercury 1?
Glenn. Jaeger.
Oh, The Right Stuff. Oh,
yes.
My gosh.
Yes, because it's like the Mercury 5 or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I was talking about the space shuttle.
Yeah.
I think you got 1 point on that.
1 point, yeah.
Yeah, because I went through all of them.
You went through all 5, so I got 1 point.
I told you some of these were tough.
Yeah, that was tough. That was good.
Here comes one that I still can't figure out why it's a 4th of July movie, but here it is. Number 10. Baseball.
Field of Dreams. The Natural.
Hobbs. Yes.
Yeah.
Did you say it before I said Hobbs, or did you say it afterwards?
Well, on my end I did. I don't know if there's a delay, but I said it before I heard Hobbs.
You said it before? Okay, I'll give you the full points then. Because if you didn't, I trust the
sucker.
Because I heard you saying it while I said it, which means you probably said it first. Okay. I had baseball, Hobbs, Lights, Redford, and Shot.
Okay, yeah.
Why is that a 4th of July movie?
I don't know. I don't remember there being... I mean, it takes place over like a whole baseball season. I'm sure the 4th of July happens at some point.
Does it? Is it a 4th of July carnival when he's like pitching to Babe Ruth? Like at the beginning of the movie? You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway. I wasn't sure. So, let me add this up. Let's do 5, 10, 15, that's 20, 24, 27, 29, 33, 36, 37?
37?
Really?
Out of 50.
Wow. Really?
It's not bad.
That's pretty good, yeah. 37. Okay. Do you want to see what your score is?
Yeah. Let's see what 37 got me.
So, in the 35 to 44 range, you are President James Marshall from Air Force One,
Oh.
commanding this game like a real chief. Wagging your finger and punching those points. Get off my game.
Wagging my finger. You think you can beat me
Get
at this game?
off my game. Do you want me to go top down?
Yeah, let's go top down.
Okay. 45 to 50, you are David Levittson from Independence Day. This is Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum, yeah.
Yeah. The smartest man in the game, saving all the points. You went faster. Checkmate on 5-word synopsis.
Ah. You went faster.
Yeah, must go faster.
Must go faster.
Must go faster, yeah.
Okay.
You went faster.
That's good.
25 to 34. This is actually where you ranked last time, but this time you did better.
Yeah.
You are Roy Hobbs from The Natural.
Okay.
It looks like you had all the potential in the world, but some of the questions shot you down. You hit high on the scoreboard, but missed the turn off that light.
I missed that last reference there, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Because the owner always goes in the dark and he turns the light on
Oh.
and he goes, turn off that light.
Yeah.
Anyway, then the scoreboard, he hits the scoreboard with the
hits the
one of the home
scoreboard.
runs. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he hits the lights at the end, so you missed the turn. You missed the light hit
missed
at
the
the
light.
end. Well, never mind. Okay, it was
hit
maybe
the
a little too
scoreboard.
much there. A little too much. Okay. 15 to 24. You're Benjamin Martin from The Patriot.
Okay.
You kept some points, but lost the ones that mattered. Aim small, miss dang near everything.
Oh, now I'm sad again.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Then the bottom tier is 0 to 14.
Yeah.
You are Ken Mattingly from Apollo 13. That's Gary Sinise, who doesn't make it on.
Right.
He's the astronaut. Yeah, he's the astronaut who was supposed to go, but doesn't go.
Yeah.
What are you, sick with the measles or something? You had a better chance of landing on the moon than getting any points. You must have a brain that's a couple amps off. Because in the movie they were a couple amps high and they had to get the amps low to do that.
Yeah.
Some of these references maybe were a little too specific.
If you watch these movies on 4th of July, then the references might make more
You'll
sense.
understand all of them.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Well, I like that. I think that those were some good pages.
Yeah.
So, until next time. See you later, brother.
Later, brother.